Joining me is a very special guest, Jaime Callica. He's a Vancouver-based actor, and he's here today to talk about his successful career and how he follows a healthy lifestyle. Welcome to the show, Jaime.
Thank you very much.
Being an actor, I mean, it must be busy, like hard sometimes to follow a healthy lifestyle.
So it's difficult, and what I do personally is I'll just munch on nuts quite a bit so that I never really get terribly hungry, and then at least that way I'm not starving and then cramming as much food into my stomach at lunchtime as possible.
And you started in the entertainment world as a professional dancer. How did that come about?
From young, I danced a little bit, so I took the technical training, jazz, tap, etc. But then after a few years of it, I actually fell away from dance and went to sports. So I was a big martial artist. I ran track for Team BC, Team Canada. And then one day I was actually modeling in a fashion show. Excuse me, after the fashion show, people just hung around and danced and whatnot. And a couple of the girls that were dancing that opened the show, they were like, "Oh, are you a dancer?" And I said, "No." They're like, you could be, you should be. And then I started taking class with a couple of them.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I started training. I was training every day, 5 days a week, got as much as I could do in, and it went well.
Well, tell us the level of intensity, like to be a professional dancer. It takes discipline. You're an athlete. You're a true athlete.
Yeah, you're an athlete.
But what type of workouts would you do?
I mean, when I started, so I would have been about 17 or 18, and so which by all accounts is starting, because I was 6, 7, 8 when I started the first time, but then like I said, I went away from the dance and I was doing a lot of sports. So to get back into it at 17, 18, I was there every day. So I was at the studio taking multiple classes a day. 2 or 3 classes almost every single day. Almost playing catch up for like the years that I hadn't done it. And that was it. It was just, I wanted to do it, I loved it, and then I just spent all of my time, all of my free time in the studio.
Well, you have the best of both worlds. You are an actor and a dancer. And congratulations on your role as a hottie dancer. Tell us about that.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really cool. I was in India, and my agent's assistant emailed the audition request for me to put it on tape. And I hadn't had a vacation for some time, and I responded saying, I'm only here for a few more days. If they have a callback, I'll be back. Maybe casting can bring me in for the callback at that point. But I think I'm gonna pass on putting this on tape. I just want to enjoy this vacation time that I haven't had for so long. And then my agent messaged almost right away saying, "Hey, buddy, they really want to see you. Can you please just put something on tape?" So I did, and got back, landed to tons of emails and texts and missed calls, where the casting director in LA wanted to see me dancing. So then I was actually in the airport, fully abandoned all my bags, just to basically sit on my phone and try to find footage from other movies or television shows or just material from class that I had to send to my agent to send down to casting. So from the airport, it took about an hour, sent them some stuff for me dancing, and then I think it was the next day that we got the call, that next day or the day after that I booked it. So it was cool because any opportunity that I have to dance now, even though acting is the focus, I love it because that was the first love, and it was a lot of fun being able to play Xavier.
It just aired recently.
That's right, yeah. So the episode 3 you saw me. It was a little clip of me. Episode 4 you really meet my character, and yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. There's more of me to come. I was happy with it. Sometimes I've watched things and it's okay, or my performance is okay. I was happy with this.
That's wonderful, and it is an easy transition from acting to dancing.
I mean, it can be. I know a lot of dancers that can't act, or try to act and just can't. And it's a different beast because dancing, it's way more physical. So a lot of times, there have been some very successful transitions for dancers into the world of acting. And they probably took a lot of class, and they have the talent, but acting is as much as it takes a lot of you physically to be the repetition of your dialogue, to be on set for 12-13 hours every single day. They are still quite different, because you could have full control of your body and all the technical training to be a fantastic dancer, but not know how to walk and talk and land on a tiny green dot that you're not supposed to look at while delivering dialogue, or like churning butter, So as much as they're similar, they're very different.
And I know it
is very hard to do. Like, I learned that on my very first acting credit. Like, walking and talking is substantially harder than you think. And I remember just walking, and then they had to cut because I forgot the dialogue. And then I remember, like, the next take, I stood still and delivered the dialogue, and they were like, okay, cut, you gotta walk and talk. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. And walking and talking is hard, especially when it's not just original thought, right? You're reciting lines for this character that someone else has written for you, and oftentimes there are moving lights with you, or somebody's walking with a bounce. There's all these other distracting factors around you that make something as simple as walking and talking super challenging.
Yeah, it's harder than...
It's way harder than it looks. Yeah.
And tell us about some other roles, like House on
Holly Lane. Yeah.
And Secret Millionaire.
Yes. So The House on Holly Lane, I just wrapped on that. It was directed by Michael Scott, whom is one of my favorite directors to work with. He's so nice. He knows exactly what he wants. He's decisive. Anybody that works with him works really well. He's one of those directors that people like want to work hard for and get the job done efficiently. So shout out Michael Scott. And yeah, I play a doctor named Jake Allen.
Wow.
And I live in a town called Kirkwood Falls, and where a lot of people tend to grow up and move out of this small town and move to the big city. But he was inspired by someone in high school, whom later on is my love interest in the movie, to stay. And he stayed, and he works in a little town in the hospital, and he volunteers for Doctors Without Borders. So he's that nice, wholesome guy, but he still is quite funny. And it was great. It was great to play a doctor.
There's Secret Millionaire too, right?
Yes, yeah. So The Secret Millionaire, played a character named Jared, and he's the best friend to the actor's name is Stephen Lund. So in the show, we're best friends, and I'm that best friend that's always around, always in his fridge, eating his food. It's really nice. It premiered in the States in January on the Pixel Network, and now it's going to be picked up or distributed on a couple other networks this year. And again, Michael Scott directed that. That was the first time I worked with him, actually. But it had a great cast. And yeah, it was really funny. I was the comedic value in the movie. So I was really nervous with that one, because if I had fallen flat, the movie would have lost a lot of the comedy. So because I do a lot of dramas, and that was my first movie where I had to be funny.
You're the face of Samsung.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes. I'm one of them. Yeah, I am their. I'm one of their #1 brand ambassadors and influencers in Canada. Which is great, because I love their products, and it was really easy when they approached me to, become an ambassador for them, because I actually love the products.
That's wonderful.
So it's so easy it's so easy for me to push it when you love it.
So what is next for you, Jaime?
Just keep at it. Pilot season is pretty much coming to an end right now. It was really busy for me. I had a great pilot season. Last June, I signed with my manager, Link, in LA. So they've been getting me a ton of really great auditions and basically introducing me to the LA market beautifully.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And we'd like you to come back.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Let me get, the next show I get, I'll be back. We'll talk about that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back after this break.